Good day, I'm Carol from Homesteading Made Easy. Today we're making some bread, whole wheat bread, and here is the recipe I use. I altered it a little bit. Instead of using brown sugar and honey, I use 3/4 cup raw sugar, and instead of vegetable oil or canola oil, I use coconut oil. And the recipe is actually split up into 2 loaves, 4 loaves, or 6 loaves. And I like to bake it at 300 degrees for 35 minutes in my oven. If you bake it at 300 degrees instead of 350, the top won't get quite as brown, but it is still done. So first we'll put in, I have to make 2 batches in this because my mixer bowl is not big enough for a 6 loaf batch. So I make 1/2 batch, then I make another 1/2 batch. So I'll put my hot water in here. I just use water out of the tap because we have well water. For the yeast, I only use 4 tablespoons instead of 6 tablespoons as the recipe asks for. I don't like to use that much yeast. Now, if you want to have it rise quicker and have your batch done sooner, you could add 6 tablespoons. Then your bread will be done quicker, but I prefer just 4 tablespoons. And for yeast to make sure it works, it has to have some kind of sugar. I use raw sugar. That's all I use is raw sugar for all my stuff. And I like to use the real salt instead of white salt. I like to add my coconut oil while my water is warm. That way it melts easier. Then I add my wheat flour. I like to use Prairie Gold. For my wheat flour, you can use any kind of wheat flour. Just make sure it's a fine flour, because if it's a medium grade, your bread will be more crumbly or not as nice and soft. Once that's mixed in real nice, I like to start adding my white flour. And the recipe doesn't really say how much white flour. See, I usually put in 3 cups, mix that in real well, then add another maybe cup and a half, mix that. You want to keep adding some slowly until it does not stick to the sides of your bowl anymore. Sometimes you have to scrape it down so your flour gets mixed in, all of your flour. And you want to use a baker's flour of some kind. All-purpose flour does not work as well. So I add another cup and a half. So this would be a half batch for the 6 loaves batch. See, it's still sticky. So add just a tad bit. See, like it's not sticking to the bottom anymore, or just a little bit. I think it's good to go. There is my bowl of dough for 6 loaves of bread. I cover it with a cloth and let it rise. I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes. Then I'll punch it down, let it rise again. Then I put it out, take it out and put it in my pans. Now I'm ready to get my bread into the pans. I let it rise twice. Grease my table a little bit with shortening. I grease my pans with shortening. I like to use either shortening or butter. Just divide it into 6 pieces. You can weigh it if you want to, but I usually don't. I just kind of guess. I like to use a rolling pin. I believe that helps that your bread is a little more firm, not quite as crumbly. Then I roll it up and finish shaping it. If you like this video, this content of my videos, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get notified when I come out with more videos. And my husband has a channel on Rumble, YouTube, Spotify. It's called Memoirs of a Farmer Boy. Go check that out. One of our sons has a Torch Phase YouTube channel. Check his content out. Then I like to prick my bread. That helps to get rid of any air bubbles. If you have some in the middle. Now it's rising. I don't know how long this will take. I never timed it. I just go by however high I want it. My bread is ready to bake. I usually bake my bread at 300 degrees. So when the timer beeps after the preheat, I put it in, and then I bake it for 35 minutes. I like to bake it at 300 degrees. That way the tops won't get as brown. They're nice and brown, but not toasted brown. And there you have it, 6 loaves of freshly baked bread. I usually let it set for a couple of minutes, take it out of the pans, let it set on the counter for maybe about 5 minutes. Then I put it in a bag and twist it shut. You want to do it, put it in the bag while it's still warm. That way it will stay nice and moist. And usually I keep out 1 loaf and freeze the rest. Then you will have fresh tasting bread as you need it. Have an amazing day.